Carolyn Ribeiro here from mining.com.au. Today I'm joined by Eclipse Metals Executive Chairman Carl Popal. Hi Carl, how are you going?
Very good. Pleasure to be here.
Carl, assay results are in from a maiden trenching program from a prospect within the company's Ivigtût Project in southwestern Greenland. Talk us through what was returned.
We had brilliant results from the trenching program that we completed. The maiden trenching program returned substantial rare earth from 0 meters from the surface and up to 56% ND total in the total rare earth in some trenches. That's quite substantial for a carbonatite deposit to delineate results, especially for ND and PR, which is the magnetic rare earths highly demanded in the economy. And most importantly, every single trench that we've got in that area was mineralized. So the area that we did focus on, the small area, which is 300 by 300 meters in that part, it turned out that every single trench was mineralized, and the mineralization is continuous at depth, and it's open at all directions.
So getting mineralisation in all 52 trenches, was this in line with your expectations?
The nepheline cyanide is well studied academically. We've got a lot of academic information about the Ivigtût or the Grønnedal prospect. We were expecting rare earths, but not to that degree that it would, especially from the surface, we were expecting a lot of lower grades due to the weathering from the surface. There's a lot of iron and manganese presence from the surface. We thought, well, obviously the mineralization, the rare earth is probably precipitating a little bit more below. But to see that it's still reasonably concentrated from the surface, obviously as we go deeper, we hope to see the results even better.
And that's the next step, is diamond drilling?
We did complete some percussion drilling. We're just processing those results, which will be due out. And subsequent to that, the percussion drilling was a maiden initial, just to understand the chemistry of the ground. Now that we've got that, diamond drilling will give us more structural understanding in respect to the mineralization at depth. We know from the geophysical results that the mineralization is deeply seated. But obviously the diamond drilling will give us more clarity in respect to the structure of the actual mineralization at depth.
The company's announcement pointed out that the samples from Grønnedal are quite unusual. What does this mean?
We're seeing a bit of an unusual environment compared to a stock standard carbonatite deposit, because the PR and D values combined shouldn't be so high. It should be somewhere around about 25% or so, or maybe even 30%, because the cerium and lanthanum in the lanthanoids, they generally, cerium and lanthanum is always higher. But in our case, what we're getting is more a ratio of almost 1-to-1, more equal. And that makes it a bit unusual for a stock standard known carbonatite deposits that we're aware of, and what we've read through the technology metal research findings of the different deposits around the world. So seeing that higher PR and D values, obviously it's more economically viable, it's demanded and all that, but more from a technical perspective, I think it's a bit of a mystery to say, well, hang on, why is this elevated compared to all the other carbonatite deposits? Is it still a carbonatite deposit down the bottom, or is it heading more towards a different type of mineralization of rare earths outside of a normal stock standard carbon? Is it two different types of rare earths on top of each other in this particular prospect, where on the top of the hill we're seeing standard carbonatite deposit with standard PR and D ratios in the rare earths, where at the bottom, when you move, say, 150 meters down, a different dike, we're seeing completely different type of chemical characteristics and levels of PR and Ds in them. So that's something, obviously, is probably if it comes out to the theory the way we believe, and also in conjunction with the academics that's helping us from Oslo universities and all that, we may have a very unusual rare earth deposit here.
Yeah, super interesting. Can't wait to see what happens. Well, Carl, thank you so much for your time today.
Pleasure.